Before I store away everything in moving boxes, let's take a quick look at my sewing collection. I will share what I have gathered and provide a brief yes or no reaction on their value. I have picked up sewing by watching YouTube and TikTok, so I'm no expert, but I would love to share what has worked for me. First, I want to start with my sewing machine. It's a simple, beginner-friendly computerized model from Brother, which I choose mostly because it's pink. While it may not be the most powerful, it has performed well for me. To measure seam allowance, I use various ruler guides depending on the situation. The brand claims that a hot hand ruler is heat resistant, yet it distorts when exposed to high heat setting. I avoid using it with my hot iron, but it serves well for measuring seams. The ruler features clear markings for various inch fractions. For someone who struggles with math, clear markings are greatly appreciated. For hot hand ruler while pressing, I use this soft hot hand ruler from Clover because it is made from a soft tanning material. The ruler does not warp under high heat. This seam guide is a classic tool that speaks for itself. I mainly use it for measuring seams when cutting fabric from pattern. This seam guide along with the green seam ruler works perfectly in combination for me to ensure I achieve the correct seam distance. Here is another seam ruler. This one comes with a magnetic seam guide for use with a sewing machine, but I'm not interested in the magnet. I use this ruler to locate my needle position and manually draw seam guides on a masking tape, which I tape onto my sewing machine needle blade. Next are the ruler for self-wrapping patterns. I have one set that features both centimeters and inches. I noticed that when I need to measure a small length, the metric system tends to work better for me. However, when I'm adding seam allowance or hemming, I find the imperial system to be more useful. You may think I have a lot of rulers, but I do use each one for different specific purposes. This quilting ruler I think make them perfect for use with my rotary cutter. This way, I can avoid any accidents and keep my fingers safe. Another essential tool that all fashion designer and seamstresses are familiar with is the French curve. It's allowed me to create smooth curve at neckline and armhole. This tool requires little to no explanation from me. I typically sketch curves by hand and then use a French curve to refine my uneven lines. The measuring tapes is familiar to many even though who don't sew. If you watch recommendation for sewing tool, this one is for sure to be mentioned. I have two measuring tapes. The first one is 120 inches long body measurement, while the second one is 60 inches, ideal for measuring curves during self-drafting, prevent clutter on my small desk. As I continue talking about drafting, I use tracing paper. Some people opt for other type of paper, such as Swedish paper, which can be somewhat difficult to find. I also notice many people use brown paper or gift drafting paper as well. Everyone has a preferred type of paper. Tracing paper has been my go-to choice ever since I started learning graphic design in college. It's become a habit for me. The paper is transparent, allowing me to trace whatever is underneath. Additionally, I can see the cutting mark grid line as reference for drawing straight lines. I realize I have too many stuff, so bye bye for today and follow for part 2.